I recently did an unhaul and a book, what's that called? Not unboxing, a book haul. Wow, back it up. If you've been staying up to date on my videos, you would know that I recently did a book unhaul and a book haul. So go check those out if you haven't already. But today I will be organizing my shelves because there's gaps in places and things, and there's a lot, and I mean a lot of books just everywhere in my room. There's some on the floor, there's some stacked up on the side, and you know, there's some cleaning that needs to be done, and I'm going to do that now. I also want to show you how I do my rainbow shelves and give you some tips on how you can achieve a really pretty rainbow shelf too, and not just the way I do it, but I also have some recommendations, because a lot of comments on my previous videos where I mentioned my rainbow shelf, people are like, I have too many black books, or I don't have enough colors. So I'm gonna help you with that. Just stay tuned. Step one that I need to do is I need to gather all the books that are randomly around my room, everything I want to go on my shelves. I'm gonna gather them and then organize them by color. Let's do it. Oh, I had these over here because I was gonna read them for Asian Readathon, and then, you know, I didn't, so I'm gonna go put them back on my shelf. I will eventually read this whole series. I just don't know when. It's gonna take me a lot of time. Hopefully soon. But yeah, gonna put these back on my shelves. Another tip to organizing is also include the books that you are currently reading, because if you don't and you fill up your bookshelves, next thing you know, you finish the book you're currently reading and then you're like looking for a spot to put it and you're like, oh right, there's no more room. So make space whilst you organize for every book you have, even the books you're in the middle of. Okay, so these are all the books that I have that were just around my room. I'm very surprised by how many there are, but we're gonna fix that. So I'm going to organize all of these by colors and then just shimmy them onto the shelf somewhere. We'll make space. We'll make this work. Hopefully, dear God. Now that I'm here, I really don't want to do this, but I have to. Just have to. Okay. What? Okay, so I very roughly kind of organized. We have some white, some like off-white, pinkish. We got oranges, pinks, purples, reds, and then we got blues, greens. I like how that's upside down. So that's how I kind of picture it first, and then I put them on my shelves, and I might have to reorganize depending on the books they're sitting next to. But I wanted to tell you a little tip. If you don't think you have enough colors, here's what you can do if you have a lot of black books and possibly white books. Here we go. Okay, so say you have a lot of like these blues. Let's work on these blues. I feel like these aren't very similar tones and they kind of look a little jumbled. So let me show you what I would do. Okay. So I'd probably put them on my shelves. This book, this paperback. Okay, let me put her over here because she's in the way. Okay, so this is kind of the tones I like to do. So it just kind of fades into a darker color. You could also do the reverse where it's from dark to light. But I tend to like this, just, you know, a very gradual gradient effect. Now, say you only have these amount of blue books and like 30 black books. What you could do is take some of those black books. So I have a few here, and in the darker colors, so there's a few darker colors, you could they're just gonna fall over, put some black books in between to make the effect kind of cool. You see, where it's still, there's still a rainbow, there's still a very clear rainbow, but it just fades into that dark blue pretty naturally, like that. Rainbow, but like using your black books to kind of make it prettier. This might be hard when it comes to like finding books though, so good luck. But if you remember how you organize the books, that also helps. But yeah, you could do that. And then, so say the green books that come before this, dark, these super dark colors, you can put a black in there, black here, dark green, so going from like white to a lighter green, darker green, and then you can just have some of those blacks mixed in between. I have like a few small blacks mixed in between the dark green, and then you go into a light color, and then as it goes into the darker colors, you add the blacks. And you could do this for just some of the colors on the rainbow. For example, on my shelf, I have a lot of light blues, but maybe you don't have a lot of like yellows. That's where you can slip in the blacks. So you can do it for only just a few colors, or it might be interesting to do it for every darker color on your bookshelf. It depends on how many black books you have. If you have a lot, like a lot of people always comment, I wish I could do it, but 90% of my collection are black books, then you might want to do it just for every single color, throw in a black book. That's my tip. I hope it's helpful. You could also do the same with white books and have the white books be in between the colors to kind of help elongate that color and make a more distinct rainbow. I, on the other hand, have lots of color, so I'm not going to be doing that. But if you worried about that, that's what you can do. Let me know if that's helpful. I'd also love to see pictures of your bookshelves. Tag me on Twitter and stuff. Like, do it. I want to see. Let's see what you're up to. Honestly, this is the hardest part, and it's all about like personal preference about what colors go next to each other. I could spend hours being like, does this book, should it go here, should it go there? Just, I think, first of all, throw it up on the shelf, rearrange a little bit, but don't think too hard, because then you're gonna overthink and just sit there and be staring. Throw it up and then live with it, and then change as you like think of new ideas. Don't just keep moving things around and around and around, because you'll just go in circles. I mean, you could do that, but it doesn't sound like fun. I got so many new orange books. I'm so excited. Orange is my favorite color, by the way. See, and here's the thing. I have dark reds going into oranges and then to yellows. So what I might do is do dark oranges to light so the color looks a little bit more seamless. Because right now I'm trying to do light to dark, but then it gets back to light for the yellows. So let's try it like this instead. Doesn't that look a little better? That might just be me. Better, better. This is what I mean by you could just be switching books all day. Let's move on. See, this is why you need to include all the books you own in the stack on the floor. I literally forgot about this, even though I showed it to you as like, this is the book that I'm currently reading, and I need to make sure it has a space on the shelf. And then of course, I already just finished the yellow. Now I gotta squeeze this in. I need to think more. and the bookshelves are done. Ooh la la. I did mess up and I didn't fit one book. Oops, I will figure this out. I would probably put this in the brown section. But out of all the books that were laying on the floor earlier, this is the only one that didn't fit. That's pretty good, man. I literally don't have an ounce more space on my shelf unless I started stacking upwards, like making little vertical stacks, which you can do. That is a tip to conserve space. But I personally really like the fact, the rainbow and how it looks just like every book standing up straight. But that might have to change in the near future because I do have some pre-orders coming in, like Ace of Spades. Ooh la la. I'm so excited. I will eventually cave and get a third bookshelf, but for now, I think these look pretty good. And yes, another tip whilst we're here is while you're doing the rainbow and you start a new color and you want to do a gradient, just make sure you decide whether or not you want it to fade from dark to light. Because something I did differently with this shelf is that instead of going from dark greens to light blues, because you can see my light blues are all underneath here, but all my dark blues are in between. If you're worried about your shelf looking too dark, because if I put my dark blues on the next shelf down, it would literally be dark blues and then blacks all the way down. So it would look like a lot of color and then a lot of dark. So because I wanted to break up the dark, another way you could do it is deciding to start from fading light to dark, then going from dark to light, which is what I did. So I did light greens to dark greens, then going from dark blues to light blues, and it still has a gradient. It looks just a little weird because there is a lot of dark in the middle, but because of that, there is way more brightness all around. What do you think? You like it? You don't like it? Let me know. Let me back it up. What do you think? What do you think? Look at that purple section. Stunning. I'm really excited. I think they look great. I honestly am loving my yellow, and she is thriving over there, blossoming into a beautiful child. I am so happy. Let me know if any of these tips helped you down below in the comments, or let me know how do you organize your bookshelves. I'm very curious to see if you do it alphabetically, if you do it by genre, or rainbow shelves. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you made it to the end of the video, please leave below this comment so I know you are the real MVP. And check out my Patreon. I have a ton of bonus content there. There's over 30 videos now available if you join now, so I highly recommend it. Trying to wink. And my goal is to try and reach 25 Patreons so I can start a buddy read with you guys and do more live shows through Patreon. So definitely check it out if you are interested. If not, ignore everything I said, just hit subscribe instead, because that's also awesome. I hope this video gave you a little bit more sunshine, and I will see you in the next one. The funny thing is I'm actually about to ruin these shelves again because I'm gonna take down my TBR for Pride Month, and you know I always have a ambitious TBR, so we're about to take down a bunch of books I just put up because I'm smart like that.